Blinkers Off is produced in conjunction with Albion Park, Gold Coast and Redcliffe Harness Racing Clubs.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Blinkers Off. Hope you've had a great weekend and a big show coming up tonight. Grant Dixon is our feature interview, highlights from Albion Park as well, and news with Chris Barsby, who we say good evening to. How are you, Chris?
Very well, thanks, David. Good to be with you on another edition of Blinkers Off.
And always a good time of the year because we're getting ready for the Grand Circuit. The first leg, of course, in our own backyard at Albion Park.
October 22 is the date for the $200,000 Group 1 feature. Yeah, there's probably not a great deal of action on the track just yet, but there's plenty of action off the track as these stars head towards this big night.
We'll talk more about the news later, but we start with a question tonight. 1,000 metres or 1,400 metres, what's your choice? Queensland Harness Racing is presently in a state of flux with the impending court case over the sale of Albion Park and a looming state election that could see a total restructure of the industry's administration if an LNP victory resulted. Now, no one, and I repeat, no one, can tell you the industry's destiny over the next 12 months, and that's not a great place to be in. But the issue of what size our premier track should be deserves plenty of discussion right here and right now. At face value, we're either going to Deagon at 1,400 metres or staying at Albion Park at 1,000 metres. Now, if we look to interstate for some guidance, it doesn't help solve the puzzle because both Melton's 1,000 metre track and Menangle's 1,400 metre circumference have delivered excellently on a number of fronts. While the Deagon issue seems set in stone with plans now being submitted to Council, if Albion Park is retained, could a 1,400 metre track be built there? I've always been a fan of the 1,000 metre concept, but industry people's opinions who I respect are adamant that 1,400 metres is the way of the future. We took the step from the 800 metres to 1,000 metres almost 30 years ago, so is it time for another step to be taken? Either way, I believe there should be serious dialogue about this issue if Albion Park is retained. But as I said previously, living day by day is about the best we can do at the moment. Always appreciate your thoughts as well on the issues we bring up each week. What about you, 1,000 or 1,400?
It's a tough question. Personally, I think 1,400 metres is the way of the future, but, judging by early results as far as turnover is concerned with Sydney in comparison to Albion Park and Melton, who are at 1,000 metres, I think there's some big differences there, but personal opinion, 1,400 metres definitely the way to go.
All right, mark you down for that, and as I said, certainly interested in our viewers' thoughts as well. Okay, which leading Sydney trainer is considering coming north? This has been a hot talking point over the last week or so.
Yeah, and it's been serious talk as well. The person in question, I will reveal, Ian Wilson is the trainer that is considering a permanent move north to Brisbane. He's been one of the leading trainers in Sydney over the past couple of seasons. He's experienced very good success both in Sydney, also Melbourne. He's been a regular here during our carnivals, yet to crack it here in Brisbane, but I know that he is seriously considering a move to Queensland. Many have asked me, does that mean Jimmy Douglas will become a Queenslander as well? The mail is yes, but that's yet to be set in stone. But this is a story that we can watch this space about. Ian Wilson, I'm tipping, might be a Queenslander.
Okay, give us an update on T. McCarthy. What's happening there?
Well, it's been a big week for T. McCarthy. Mr. Feelgood stepped out at the trials again during the week. He's ready to go now, Mr. Feelgood. John McCarthy was a special guest at a function in Victoria during the week. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Luke McCarthy bagged 5 winners on Saturday night at Menangle. Andy McCarthy had a very good week in North America. He won a $50,000 mares race and he was a runner-up in the Cane Pace, a race worth $350,000 on Townslight, Hanover. Young Todd McCarthy, he's off on a holiday to Phuket, so it's been a busy week for the McCarthy clan.
Daryl Graham.
Daryl Graham, as we speak, in New Zealand. It was the Ready to Run video session today, and he was over there scouting his next Lanercost or Courageous Annie. Both Daryl and Dean Shannon have had enormous success with the Ready to Run sale in New Zealand, and Daryl's over there as we speak, scouting another champion.
Now, you've pulled this one out of the Where Are They file. Ian McMahon, you've got some news on.
Yeah, Ian McMahon, he's had a rotten run of luck with that injury when he was involved in that very serious fall a few years ago. Now, he's not having any joy about getting his driver's license again. He's moving on. My mail is that he's going to Abu Dhabi to take up a lucrative deal there to be part of camel racing, of all things.
You can find a story. Okay, integrity side of things, some Queensland trainers on the sidelines.
Yeah, earlier last week, both Trevor Lambourne and Elizabeth Maiolo were outed. Sources tell me there could be a few more. We might hear more this week, so watch this space with that one.
And the New South Wales investigation continuing, and I'm sure will for some time.
Absolutely. Robbie Burns last week was outed. He was warned off for failing to comply with directions from Harness Racing New South Wales, handing over his phone records. Sources tell me again that there was up to 6 or 7 people that were interviewed at HR and SW's offices during the week.
And closing off with the news, a couple of Kiwis we want to talk about. Liz again.
Liz again is the latest import for the Butts. He gets to Christchurch tonight as we speak. He's out of quarantine in Auckland, so he's down in Christchurch now, so he'll immediately go into work. An Auckland reactor missed a workout over the weekend due to a slight stone bruise, but it's nothing serious. He's expected to step out later this week.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, David.
Chris Barsby, first with the news here on Blinkers Off. We're going to take a break, be back with our feature. That's Grant Dixon coming up in just a moment.